call to the booth. We got a new number one on the power rankings. We were supposed to give our best bets last week. Probably turned out to be our worst bets. Let's get into it. Paul, drop the beat.
Harrison Sanford, Aqib Talib, we are throwing week 9 all the way in the trash. It's terrible, disgusting. If you laid any type of money down, I feel for you. And hopefully
all
you feel
bad
for us, because it was all bad for sure. We're going to talk about our best bets in our next segment, but I do want to take a little bit of perspective from Aqib. So Aqib, obviously being a former NFL player, you never put any bread down on any games. But now that you're 2 years retired, do you start to understand what the common man goes through when the Cowboys 10-point favorites at home take an L?
Yeah.
When the Jaguars, when the Bills 14 points favorites against one of the worst teams in the NFL take an L? Do you understand why we be all up in the Twitter DMs, all up in the Instagram DMs?
You get to playing with your money, you know what I'm saying? We playing with our money now, man. So I'm definitely starting to feel it, man, with my fantasy football play and, my bet online situations, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you think you got a gimme, and right when you think it's a gimme, Harrison, it's over with, man. It show you this is the NFL, and it's any given Sunday, man. So it just remind me that this is a talented league, man, and you never really know.
Yeah, it sounds kind of, you remember, like, not too long ago, people would always say, oh, Alabama could beat this bum team in the NFL. No, they can't.
No, they can't.
They don't have a chance.
They lose
got
50
no
to
chance
nothing
in the world.
Yeah, they
Exactly.
get blown all the way out. It'd be crazy.
Yeah. It's weird, though, because it feels like the more tape we have, you think the more we know. And then all of a sudden, we don't know anything. And it brings me to the power rankings, because last week, we had a totally different power rankings. The Rams were at number 1. Cowboys were at number 2. Packers at number 3. Titans at 4. Cardinals at 5. And it's all mixed and matched. And this week, why don't you tell us who you got?
Man, we got the Titans at number 1, man. Now, the Titans, they battle-tested now. I mean, all they do is beat up on big dogs, man. They done played all the big dogs, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Rams. They done played all the big dogs, man. So I'm loving what I see with the Titans. And you take Derrick Henry out, man, that offense still find a way to score 30-something or 28 or whatever they score. But I think it's just their makeup, man. You are the identity of your head coach. He kind of build the identity of the team. And that's a Mike Vrabel team, man. They just tough, hard-working, gritty guys. It don't matter who it is. We going to show up and go to work. So it fit his description so well, man. I just love how the Titans, how they playing right now as a team. So Titans number 1. Cardinals come with no quarterback, without their starting quarterback, man. Big win. So they elevate back to number 2. The Ravens still in nail biters, but they find the ways to win all their games, man. So they pop in at number 3. The Bucs take an L, but they still the Bucs, man. It was Halloween and it was in New Orleans, so they don't drop too far. They drop down to number 4. And then the Packers is the Packers. They lost without their quarterback, but that defense played so good. They had a big win last Thursday. Then they come back this week, no quarterback, last minute. You take him out. Put Love in, and their defense rose to the occasion, man. They had a chance to win that game, and that's why I didn't drop them out the top 5. I thought as a team, you had adversity like that, you rally as a team, man, and you go on the road and you give Chiefs all they can handle. That's why I didn't drop them out the top 5. So the Packers at number 5 with no quarterback.
And the one thing that was impressive about the Tennessee Titans, as I watched them against the Rams, they were known to have a poor secondary. Jackrabbits back there, but that's, they don't really have a star secondary. But they shut down the Rams, and that defensive line, they were highlighted on Sunday Night Football. I think it's catching a lot of people off guard. I think, obviously, the value on Jadeveon Clowney continues to change, and the perception of him continues to change. But I think we all thought the defense wasn't going to be that solid or be able to generate that much pressure. Has that caught you off guard?
Yeah, definitely, man. That's what's really the most impressive thing on their team to me, man, because we know what they're going to do with the O-line, Derrick Henry. They've been doing that for years, right? But this defense is coming out of nowhere, man. They bullying people up front. Man, Byard, this safety, he emerging as one of the best. I remember this young quiet. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really know who he was. Like, who is this? It was Byard at the Pro Bowl with me, right? Just there at the Pro Bowl. This like way back in the day, 2019 or 18 or something. Just at the Pro Bowl, just chilling. And now I'm seeing his play right now. I'm hearing everybody talk about him, man. The dude's super smart, elevating his game. He got 5 picks on the year. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody even talking about it. One to the crib last week. And, man, he really the captain, the quarterback of that defense, man. And he making it go, holding everybody accountable. Big Jeffrey Simmons up front, throwing people around, and he holding everybody accountable up front, man. So they got a guy in the back end. They got a guy on the D-line. And they playing together, and they playing hard. And it remind me a lot of Mike Vrabel, how he used to play the game.
Let's move on to the Cleveland Browns. Some thought they were down, but losing OBJ seems to make Baker Mayfield a better quarterback, or seems to make the Cleveland Browns a better team. Going to Cincinnati, the Cincinnati Bengals, who we still don't bang with after what they did to us in Survivor. We still not cool with them. And they showed up again in Cincinnati, 41-16. Nick Chubb ran all over them, 14 carries, 137 yards, even caught a long pass, too, which Nick Chubb really doesn't do. I know you were impressed with what they did on Sunday. Tell me what you saw before we break down what happens this Sunday, Week 10, against the New England Patriots.
Man, I feel like they got back to the basics, man. In my opinion, Cleveland probably got top 3 dominant O-line, top 3 dominant D-line, right? And they got back to the basics, man. They gave the ball to Chubb. Chubb had 130, 2 tubs, and they dominated up front on defense, in my opinion. So I like Cleveland, man. I like the makeup of their team. I like Baker with no Odell because I feel like when you got a guy like Odell, I'm putting myself in Baker Mayfield's shoes. I got Odell Beckham Jr. on my team. Going into that week, I'm thinking I got to get O the ball at least 8 to 10 times. I got to throw it to him 8 to 10 because he's so good, man. He's world renowned. I see the talent with my own eyes in practice all day long, the catches he make, the routes he runs. So I want to get him the ball enough where I might force it to him, you know what I'm saying? You take him out, now I just put the route concepts in, I read the defense. Wherever the defense say throw the ball at, that's where I throw it to. I'm not really worried about the person. So I just feel like the offensive coordinator, he do the same thing. He try to create plays for O, double moves and reverse. When O not there, he just let it flow. He just call the game however it come to him. So I think they do find better rhythm when they don't got like a true big time number 1 receiver who we gotta get the ball to. So I think they play better, man. They make them run the ball better. It make the play action game a lot better. So Cleveland dangerous, man. Cleveland is a dangerous football team, man. They got a championship defense and they got a championship run game. So you better watch out for them boys in December and January.
Before we get to the no-fly zone rankings and the best bets in our next segment, real quick, Nick Chubb tested positive for COVID-19 on Tuesday. Makes him questionable at best for the game at New England for Week 10. Probably the best matchup on the calendar, except for that maybe Seahawks-Packers game, depending on what happened with Aaron Rodgers. Nick Chubb not there for the Cleveland Browns, going to New England. Obviously, Kareem Hunt's not there. It's going to be a lot of Dearness Johnson. Give me the quick breakdown.
Man, no Chubb. I don't like if they go to New England with Chubb, I think they can leave with a dub. They go with no Chubb, I think New England gonna take that game.
All right, let's go to the no-fly zone power rankings real quick. Number 5, Cowboys, who were number 1 last week after what they did or what happened to them against the Denver Broncos. New Orleans Saints, who somehow fumbled that lead late in the game that they were able to get back after being down 14. Buffalo Bills, don't even want to talk about them, at number 3. Arizona Cardinals at number 2, and new at number 1, the Green Bay Packers. You touched on them. Let's touch on them just a little bit more. What did you see from that defense as they shut down another team that really corralled Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs?
Man, the Green Bay Packers, they lost Jair. Jair down, right? So, guys getting opportunities to play ball. They lost Joe B. They de-coordinated for a little bit, a week or two. And, man, they just coming out serving everybody. You get the Chiefs 13. You get the Cardinals 21. Washington, y'all get 10. Bears, y'all get 14. Bengals, y'all get 22. They just serving everybody lately. So, I mean, next man up. It's next man up in Green Bay, man. They playing ball out there. And Joe B calling he calling some great games, man. A lot of cover 4, a lot of man. And I feel like they just standing up, man. You lose at one point they was down their first and second corner. Guys just stepping in and making plays, man. So they lost the game, but I watched that game against the Chiefs, man. That defense balled out, and that's why the Packers hopped up to number one, man. They got this secondary stuff under control.
Speaking of getting back in order, we gonna make some money in Week 10. We got to. I mean, we weren't alone in losing some money in Week 9. So let's get right for Week 10. When we come back, we'll do our DFS, best bets, and all that good stuff as it pertains to putting money back in your pocket. This is Call to the Booth. Back with more Call to the Booth. Harrison Sanford, Aqib Talib, Paul Aspen, our producer, joining us for this betting segment. Obviously, we took that L in Survivor. Thank you, Cincinnati Bengals. Let's go over our DFS picks real quick. It's a little bit easier to predict what humans will pick in DFS than actually what humans will do on the football field. That's why Week 9 went sideways. So let me tell you who Aqib likes for DFS this week. Quarterbacks, Tom Brady versus the Washington football team. Brady coming off a bye. You know what time it is. Trevor Lawrence versus that weak Indianapolis Colts secondary, as Ian Harditz pointed out to us from PFS last week. Najee Harris versus the Detroit Lions. Nothing to say there. Jonathan Taylor versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Nothing to say there. Wide receiver in that matchup too, Michael Pittman, who's been going off recently for Carson Wentz against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then Stephon Diggs at the wide receiver position for the Buffalo Bills, going to the New York Jets. We're going to pause there for a second because I don't know if y'all like me, but I put down some bread on the Buffalo Bills, laying 14.5 at Jacksonville because they like to run up the score. It didn't go that way. Aqib, what did you see in that matchup where Josh Allen, the linebacker, got a sack on Josh Allen, the quarterback, got a forced fumble from him too, and I think he got an interception as well. He did all. Yeah, he went all the way.
And then the thing is, all of them was like bang, bang, bang. All the plays was like right on top of each other, man. It was crazy. But I'm seeing, man, people starting to slow down that Bills offense, and the Jags did a good job of it, man. They kind of getting that Chiefs treatment, right? They kind of getting that too high all day. Y'all don't want to run the ball, then we going to make y'all beat us by running the ball against a 7-man box all day, you know what I'm saying? Because they just going to keep too high. And I don't know, man. It's a copycat league, right? If you come out and you super explosive, they're going to put the Chiefs defense on you. It's called the Chiefs defense. You know what I'm saying? Super deep cover 2 or super deep cover 4, man. So the Jags did a good job rolling out that defense and keeping the ball in front of them. The Bills better get used to it. Y'all better find an answer for it because that's what they've been seeing, and it's working against them.
Yeah, in Week 9, we saw a lot of pass targets to Cole Beasley. Might be a sneaky pickup in fantasy football. I think he had 8 receptions, only for 33 yards, but they basically used him like their running game, especially with Zach Moss getting that injury and only Devin Singletary back in that backfield for the Buffalo Bills. Tight ends that be like Dan Arnold versus the Indianapolis Colts, and Logan Thomas returning for Taylor Heineke and the Washington football team. That will be who we pick. Obviously, no Travis Kelce, no Darren Waller this week with them playing in Sunday Night Football. All right, Paul's going to join us now. Tell us what we did wrong in Week 9, Paul, please.
Everything. We all did everything wrong.
We did it all wrong, baby.
So Aqib got with the Cowboys. They killed his teaser. Browns I had, but then the Rams got smoked, so that teaser died. And then Harrison, the Ravens came from behind to win, but they did not cover the 6, even though they were up by 7 late. But once it went to overtime, best you could do was a tie, and it didn't get there. So we all lost. So we're all trying to bounce back this week. Bad week. There are a ton of teaser options this week. Some of them have moved a little bit already, but like the Browns at +1.5, kick that up through the 3 and the 7 to 7.5. Mm-hmm. Ravens, you could come down to 1.5. Cowboys were at 8.5, depending on where you looked. You could bring them inside a field goal. Saints, you could go up to 8.5. Eagles, Raiders, some other teasable options. So, Keep, I'll let you start us off. What kind of teaser you got cooking up?
Well, since we talking teasers, I'm gonna go with the Broncos, man. They off a big win. They going back home. You know what I'm saying? Take Philly. Philly taking the semi-West Coast trip, right? They taking the West Coast trip, long travel, all the way out to Denver. They get to rock out in that altitude. Cowboys the Broncos is -2. You tease that, now you get Broncos +3.5 at the crib. I love that situation. Broncos plus at the crib. I love that. You put that with the Cowboys. Now the Cowboys on mine is -9, but you get popped like that last week, man. If you were really a good football team, you're gonna lock in, you're gonna come back, you're gonna play good football this week. So I say the Cowboys -3. Tease at 6 points. Cowboys -3 at home. Put them together, man. 2-pick Broncos +3.5. Cowboys -3. That's a great 2-pick for you this week.
I'm calling it now. We're going to go 3-0. I also like dealing with that Cowboys game as well. We'll talk more about the Broncos in our Broncos Focus show for Thursday. But as it pertains to that Atlanta Cowboys game, I don't know where I'm going to lay with the points just yet, but I do like the under. I just don't think that the Atlanta Falcons have enough offensive personnel. I feel as if Micah Parsons can travel around or keep up with Kyle Pitts. Think you could put Trayvon Diggs on Cordell Patterson. Obviously, no Calvin Ridley is there. I just don't see how they hit 55.5 right now. That line has to be going down as the week goes. And I am tempted as well to lay the points. I think it's 10 right now with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady is on record saying that he thought his team should be scoring 50 points. I think he said that when they played the Bears. We should have scored 50. He gets a bye week against a weak secondary with the Washington football team. I kind of like thinking about them laying the 10. Kind of risky, but big money, big risk, make big rewards. So that's what I'm messing with the key. Just give me your thoughts on the under 55.5 Atlanta Cowboys and the Bucks laying 10.
I love both of those, man. I think coming out that bye week, man, Tommy gonna do work. I just hope they can hold the lead. They'll be up 17 or something, you know what I'm saying, late fourth quarter. But you know how it goes. Guys kind of come off that gas. I hope they can hold that 10-point lead. But I love that under, man. At 55, that thing ain't going over 55. It could be 33 to, you know what I'm saying, 33 to 20. And we still under 55. So, man, ain't no way that thing going over 55. I love that pick.
That line has to be coming down as the week goes. There's no way that hits.
To.
All right, Paul. Paul, you already said yours, right? Did I miss that, or did you pick one officially? What do you on record for?
So on record, I will go on record with an AFC North teaser. So the Ravens on Thursday night against the Dolphins, down from 7.5 to -1.5, and the
great pick.
Browns, a little bit of a COVID issue possibly, but I still think they keep it within 7. So putting the Browns up to 7, you can get it 7.5 at some places if you tease it up 6 points. So a Ravens Browns teaser and one additional solo pick off to the side. The Steelers can't be laying 9 points to anyone, so I'm doing it. I'm taking the Lions off a bye +9. There's just I can't. You saw it on Monday night.
I'm not messing with the Lions no more ever.
Yeah. It's just too many points for the Steelers, so that's where
I feel that.
Oh, and one long shot for you guys. Long shot of the week, just to sprinkle in there if you guys are interested. Justin Fields is still 50-1 to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Not saying go crazy on it. We got half a season left. He does what he did against
And the thing with that, Paul, it ain't going to be the Jamar Chase who started off with the first 7 games. It's going to be the last 7. Who bought his last 7 games? And Justin Fields is cranking that shit up, man. So 50-1, it's tough not to throw.
And it's come down to 30-1. It's coming down to 30-1 at other places. So get the 50 while you can.
All right, before we get out of here, big time matchup Monday Night Football. Rams trying to get back to getting W's. And also, Von Miller should be making his debut for the Los Angeles Rams. Let's talk about it, Aqib. What do you expect to see from Von Miller on Monday Night Football for that very impressive Los Angeles Rams defense?
I expect to see a lot of energy, man. Them coming off that L and a little lackadaisical on defense. Just the energy wasn't there, I don't think. So with Von being there, man, and the L combined, they have a reason to have some early juice. It's Monday Night Football. That's going to add a little to it as well. So, man, I expect a lot of energy from the Rams on Monday.
The props are not in there yet because it's so far away. But Aqib, let's call out Von's stats. How many sacks? And how many tackles? How many sacks? If any sacks?
Give me your
betting prediction for Von Miller's debut.
He gonna have like 4 tackles, not nothing crazy on the tackles. You know what I'm saying? About 4 tackles. He gonna have a sack, and 4 tackles in a sack. I give him that. 4 tackles in a sack. Couple hurries in there. He'll be involved with, but solid night, solid debut for him. Definitely gonna get on the board with a sack though, because that's what he do.
Speaking of Von Miller, obviously formerly played for the Denver Broncos. We'll talk about the Broncos in our featured show on Thursday. That's Aqib Talib. I'm Harrison Sanford. Shout out to Paul. Shout out to Thomas. Let's make some money in week 10, please. See you next time.